Hiker Jay here. This week I got something special. I got a kayak on my back. That's right. ORU makes foldable kayaks, origami kayaks, and I got one sent to me as a sample. First I thought I would just give you a real impression by just going for it, putting it together and taking it out and see what it is from first impressions when it comes to a review. At any time if you want to check it out, I'll have links down below like I always do in the description. Let's get to it. Hiker Jay here. This week we're talking about the ORU Kayak. That's right, the nice foldable origami kayak. And this is my first time out in it. I've only been rowing for about 5 minutes now, and I'm already pretty much in love. So they sent me this to test out. I do have to send it back, but I see one of these in my overlanding future, just because it's so easy to just collapse. I do this just like after work. I went home, tossed it in the back of the Jeep, came out here, set it up in less than 5 minutes, and I'm out here rowing on a nice calm lake. Right now I'm just rowing into the wind because I kind of wanted to see how hard it was to move this thing, and it is gliding so smoothly around this little lake. I'm enjoying this immensely. I can get really used to doing this in the fall multiple times during the week, just kind of coming out here and rowing away. It's funny, when I first got in it I was like, ooh, I was really kind of feeling kind of unstable, but now at 5 minutes in rowing, I feel very stable. I think it just took a minute for my balance to figure out how this one balances out, being that you don't have all that bulky like normal kayak body around it. This thing is really responsive. It kind of feels like the movements are magnified with this thing, so you just kind of have to be real relaxed, kind of chill, and just nice and balanced with it. But I'm grooving now. I'm almost to the other side of the lake and haven't tipped it yet. The tracking on this kayak, I know that it's kind of just a basic water type kayak and with good balance, but it tracks pretty well. I do see the bow go back and forth just a little bit with each stroke, so it's not quite as nice as like a sea kayak that just really holds its line, but in something like this, a small lake, it's holding the line no problem at all. Got some ducks coming up here. I'll try to go a little wide of them, not bother them too much. Those ducks. I just came across this like crazy seaweed formation under the water. I'm gonna try to get down there and get a shot for you. I'm a little far away now, but it's basically like a funnel coming up. Almost looks like a stump, but it's all seaweed. Let me get a little closer and I'll put you down there. Here we go, right down in here. Something I don't see every day. Kind of a cool little seaweed patch. Keep rowing on. So far I'm very impressed with the Inlet ORU kayak. It's performing great out on this really calm lake. It's really enjoyable just with the sunset going down and kayaking around and exploring things around me. Now I'm going to take you to shore and we'll talk about all the features and how it folds up and everything, and give you my impression of it. Getting out, I did get water in there, so a little bit of water, but I'm quite sure it didn't come in from any of the seams, only because I know when I got out I kind of tipped it over a little bit and got a little water in, but that's not bad. All right, back on land, all packed up. I'm not gonna go through like a full build of it because there's some really great videos out there that ORU already has out, but I'm gonna talk about some of the things that are key when you actually put it together. Then I'm gonna tell you my impression of everything, and then I'll talk about a couple of the accessories, backpack for it, paddles, and the vest and such at the end. So easily unsnaps, starts to unfold. Nice that the oars can actually stay on the inside of it, but you unfold out your two ends, and now you've got kind of this big white plastic piece here. So the things I want to point out are, right now, it's kind of opposite the way that you need it. You need to shove it in so that these go that way. So you're gonna have to push a little bit to actually pop them the way that they need to go. So don't worry about that. Now, you'll want to look down on the bottom here to tell you what you're putting where. This is your foot one. We'll put that up there. This is your back baffle. All right, baffles are pretty important. Leave the Velcro leaning out and push it down into these two grooves so that it actually stays in there. So now you can actually fold it over, and just at first, just get one of them to clip. You'll tighten it all up later and then get it all right. This one also has a couple Velcros there. So now just go ahead and tighten this side up, clip it and tighten it. The front you've got to set up a little bit more. So again, you're gonna kind of fight it, kicking it out like that. But first off, bungee, hook up there. This is where your feet are gonna rest. So now you'll put in the baffle. And at this point, you can fold it over and hook it in. We got the front one loosely set up. Now this is where your feet go, which is kind of cool. So you hook it into here, and here, I'm tall, so I had it set all the way back, but you can totally just pull it in for however tall you are. This one really helps a lot when you put the strap across the back, and once you do that, then you can tighten up your ends. Now the last piece I want to talk about when it comes to install is you've got this cushion, but is this clip right here. So I didn't realize that right off the bat when I started. It wasn't clipped in. I just had it setting in, and I clipped these in here so that it would stay in place. But I didn't actually make sure that it was clicked in like that. So it's kind of hard to see, but you can unclick it and then, or click it all the way in. So make sure you do that click thing. I didn't do it at first, and my back was like skating around. It still held me up, but it was a little weird. Wasn't quite right. So, gotta pull this over, Velcro our front, tighten everything up. But as you can see, super light, super simple to put together. And if you have any trouble, you can watch other videos on it. But so my impressions, really loved it. It's the smallest. The inlet is the smallest that they have. It is really wide, really nicely balanced. Like I said, at first I was kind of like, whoa, kind of felt like it was so light that you feel like you're almost gonna tip. You're not gonna tip. I didn't have any trouble keeping my balance at all. Now I didn't put other stuff. You can put other things in to make yourself a little bit more buoyant or whatever, but I'm at 235 pounds. I was pushing the limit, so I wanted to see how it worked with just a big guy like me. Had no trouble. I was well above the water line, and was able to just scoot right along. My real impression is that if you're looking for something that is real easy, just to have, that can store away simply, you can grab, throw together in 5 minutes and go kayak on a lake and just have a good time, this is definitely the kayak for you. And at the price point, I think it's actually a really good price point. When you think of buying a kayak and then having to store it or get a rack for it, you're putting all that extra cost in, where here, you don't have to put the rack in it. Now, accessories. So I really do like the oars in that they do fit right in the box, which is cool. But most of all is that they're adjustable. So I was able to go, this unhooks, it doesn't seem like it's gonna like hold very well, but you can go at different distances. I went all the way, and then it also tells you to line up right here to here with different angles. So if you do a little bit of a pivot while you're rowing, you can adjust it all the way along. Never had it separate. I was wondering, because I was right at the end, because I'm a long-armed guy, never separated, held really well. I would definitely get the oars just because they're so compatible with it, and they're adjustable and super light as well. There's a graphite version too, but I don't know if you need to spring for the graphite version. This is really light when it comes to it. Then they've got the vest. I like the vest. Of course, you could use any vest. The one thing I wanted to point out about that was that they do have the lower back open. So you can sit right in here with your flotation up above you, and it doesn't bother you when you're sitting in your seat. So I really do like their vests, because a lot of vests that you might get that aren't kayak setup would be all the way down to the bottom, and you'd have that extra bulk down there. But I felt the seat was really comfortable, so I really would recommend something like this. The last accessory that they sent along with it is the actual inlet pack. So everything will fit in here. You can put your oars and such in here too, and then it's got shoulder straps on the back. So if you have a bit of a walk, like a hike to a really cool lake or something, I would recommend this. Though this is really easy. I think with the oars and everything, it's just over 20 pounds. No problem carrying it at all. So at the end of the video, I'll put it in this and then I'll show you what it looks like in there. But ultimately, I do think if you're looking for a kayak, something really unique, the ORU Kayak is the one for you. And it's kind of like the unicorn of all the kayaks, right? Because people look at you setting it up and they're like, what is that? And they're like, oh my God, it's a kayak. It's really unique, but it's very efficient. It's not a gimmick at all. So definitely check them out. I put the link down below in the description. You can check them out there. Till next time, just remember, life's a hike, so hike happy. Once you get it on, it's not bad. It's like a 25-pound pack, so it's not too bad. It seems a little big, but nice for walking back to the truck.